Salute, Figure Fours. Welcome to the channel. Now we got breaking news, and I'm a little bit late, but you know how I like to do it over here. I like to go to the horse's mouth. So y'all hit that like button. And we got some bad news for some of you AEW Britt Baker diehard fans. It's looking like Tony Khan sent your girl Britt Baker to the bench. Tony Khan is reported of saying that he is tired of Britt Baker. And that's very, very interesting, because if you a diehard AEW mark, like I used to be, you watch this organization come up from 2019 to 2021, then you know how Tony Khan and Britt Baker was besties. That it was a weird relationship. You know what I'm talking about? They were buddy. I mean, from 2019 to 2021, she was their biggest star. She was AEW's biggest star in the women's division. And remember, let's take it back. 2019, AEW was born, and their women division sucked. Their women division absolutely sucked. It sucked to the point where they took it off for television. They kicked it aside and waited until their women got better, until their women finally developed. And when they did develop, Britt Baker was at the forefront of that. So I'll give Britt Baker her credit, and I'll give her her due. Through time, she got better and she got better, but she was the seat filler at AEW. Now, we haven't seen Britt Baker since November 11th, where she faced off with Penelope Ford, and then she had that stare down in the back with Serena Deeb. And we all thought that she was back, and she was going to be in the storyline with Serena Deeb. But then they just dropped that storyline, like how AEW recently have been doing with storylines. They just drop a storyline with no explanation at all, including the fact that she got injured around this time, guys. And she didn't return for a little minute, and then when she did return, she returned to take on Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks. So what we all thought was going to be a feel-good moment, like a hero's welcome home, it wasn't that, because she put over Mercedes Moné, even though she had the momentum. But we know AEW, that's their biggest problem. They always want their heels to win. But your faces and the people that get the fans invested in their character is the ones that fill the seats. But again, guys, and I want y'all to know, this report is reported that not only Britt Baker is feeling away in AEW. You know, you got Malachi Black leaving, and it's heard that he's on his way to WWE. Rusev is upset. You see what's happening with Ricky Starks. You guys see what's happening with Rey Fenix. So it's a lot of disgruntled stars over there that was foundational people for AEW that's feeling pushed aside, because AEW has now become the wasteland for WWE. It's supposed to be the alternative for WWE, but now it's old WWE. You got Jon Moxley versus Dean Ambrose as your main event, as your heavyweight championship picture. We gonna chalk this up to Tony Khan, guys. Tony Khan got to get mad, and he got to be tired and frustrated with himself. He don't need to be frustrated with any of his superstars, any of his wrestlers, because this pattern is in him. Now, this seems real similar to the CM Punk thing, because both of them started out as his favorite, and both of them used that favoritism to their advantage, and both of them got used to using that favoritism to their advantage. But then what happened? You see, when CM Punk bumped heads with his boys, with his other friends, and he chose his other friends, just like Britt Baker. Britt Baker was his best friend until she bumped heads with MJF, guys. And a lot of she's getting a lot of heat from backstage. A lot of people are saying that she is a problem backstage, but I just told y'all when she came back, she put over Sasha Banks. So it's not about her. And listen, Britt Baker is no angel, guys. If you want, we can run down a list of her backstage scuffles, because a lot of people don't know. They just go off of what they hear other people say. They never do the research. Her first backstage scuffle will be with not even Thunder Rosa, guys. Before we even get to Thunder Rosa, we got to go with Big Swole. Remember, guys, Big Swole, she went and she said the diversity. Big Swole had a problem with the AEW's diversity because she didn't understand how they were trying to build Britt Baker as their star. When you're trying to build a star, you can't make everything fair. You can't go tick for tack. When you're trying to build a dominant leader of a division, and that's what they was doing. And Britt Baker happened to be, you know what I mean, the non-black brand. So Big Swole, not understanding business and not being able to adapt to change, she went and made a thing about diversity. Tony Khan inappropriately, and that was his first blemish too. That was his first piece of evidence of, hey, this guy might not be fit for his position, when he commented back on Big Swole tweet. You know what I mean? That was not Britt Baker. She was inadvertently attached to that. But she had nothing to do with that. Now did she politic? Yes, she politic. But if you are the company owner's favorite, it ain't that much politicking you're gonna need to do, because he already chose you. Then at the same time, guys, right? Understand, this is one of the biggest issues, and this is why we gotta hold up on her coming to WWE. Aside from her contract, she's still trapped, and she is still obligated to that contract. So she'll end up just like Rey Fenix. So just hold off on bringing her to WWE, because she also will need to have a conversation with Brandy Rhodes, because that's another one of her backstage incidents. And that's where she used her politics and her favoritism. And Tony Khan always chose her. He chose her over Brandy Rhodes. Guys, yes, it was a point in time where Brandy Rhodes was the leader of the women's division, but the women were so bad at that point that they ended up having to make Kenny Omega the leader of the women's division. And it just so happened, when Kenny Omega started booking the AEW's women's division, he had Britt Baker. He had the storylines for Britt Baker, and he was giving Britt Baker the push. So it wasn't really Tony Khan behind the women's division in the beginning. It was Brandy, and then it went to Kenny Omega. But once it got to Kenny Omega, she started to get the storylines. She meaning Britt Baker. So that's how that went. So it's just a lot of politicking and jealousy and people not understanding the business. This is a young company. Everybody can't have the title. You can't have 5 title changes within 5 years. Within 3 years, you can't do that and want to. This is why they are the way they are right now. Can't sell a ticket. Went to arenas, venues that only seat 2,000 people. This is why they at where they at now, for always letting the bad guy win. Another problem WWE gonna have with Britt Baker, that ain't got nothing to do with her attitude, because we all know that WWE is a totally different machine. It's a system. And in fact, AEW ain't a system, and WWE fit perfect for Britt Baker. She fits that system to the T, because they know how to mask everything a person lacks. they know how to mask that. Look what they did for Jade Cargill. Look what they did for CM Punk. And those are the disgruntled people, right, that AEW couldn't do nothing with, and you know what I mean, that they spoke up, just like how Britt Baker is. Because that's all Britt Baker is. She's outspoken. You know, it's not cool for women to be outspoken, but she's outspoken. And, you know, one thing she got against her, she's too smart. Britt Baker, a real deal genius, y'all. She's a real deal genius, and we know this is why, guys, not for nothing, she was injured. She took that time off. The medical reasons, remember, she took time off for medical reasons, and that goes to show you guys, she damn near had an attack, an anxiety attack. That causes the stroke, guys, anxiety, worry, and you know what I mean, they tell us that scientists and the people that's intelligent are crazy because they lose their mind because they're that smart. And you know, wrestling don't like smart people. They like the because they could take advantage of the. So WWE will fit perfect with Britt Baker. She will fall right in line. She fits WWE to the T. She fits WWE to the T. That would be a great match or a tag team, her and Chelsea Green. Another problem WWE gonna have with Britt Baker, that ain't got nothing to do with her attitude, because we all know that WWE is a totally different machine. It's a system. And in fact, AEW ain't a system, and WWE fit perfect for Britt Baker. She fits that system to the T because they know how to mask everything a person lacks. They know how to mask that. Look what they did for Jade Cargill. Look what they did for CM Punk. And those are the disgruntled people, right, that AEW couldn't do nothing with, and you know what I mean, that they spoke up, just like how Britt Baker is. Because that's all Britt Baker is. She's outspoken. You know, it's not cool for women to be outspoken, but she's outspoken. And, you know, one thing she got against her, she's too smart. Britt Baker, a real deal genius, y'all. She's a real deal genius, and we know this is why, guys, not for nothing, she was injured. She took that time off. The medical reasons, remember, she took time off for medical reasons, and that goes to show you guys, she damn near had an attack, an anxiety attack. That causes the stroke, guys, anxiety, worry, and you know what I mean, they tell us that scientists and the people that's intelligent are crazy because they lose their mind because they're that smart. And you know, wrestling don't like smart people. They like the because they could take advantage of the. So, you know what I mean? WWE will fit perfect with Britt Baker. She will fall right in line. She fits WWE to the T. She fits WWE to the T. That would be a great match or a tag team, her and Chelsea Green. In conclusion, guys, we can only hope and wait and sit this thing out and see how this thing play out. But, you know what I mean? WWE, truthfully, she's not worth buying her contract out. You know what I mean? I wouldn't buy her contract out because WWE got so many, their roster is man. We got so many women, but she's definitely, I know they definitely got their eye on this situation. They definitely got their eye because she would be a great addition by subtraction. You know what I mean? The same thing we did for Jade Cargill. We took her, we didn't need her, we didn't need Jade Cargill, but we took her just so they won't have her. And they were going to fumble her anyway. Same thing they doing with Britt Baker. They're supposed to have Britt Baker go over Sasha Mercedes Moné. They're supposed to definitely have Britt Baker beat her, even if it was to hold the title for 2 months. On the comeback from an injury, your pillar. You see why Charlotte? You see why Charlotte? You think how long y'all think it's gonna be till Charlotte come back from injury, the pillar of the women's division at WWE, before she get a title? Man, listen, y'all play with Charlotte if y'all want to, but that's how you build your pillar. That's how you build your pillar. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Y'all hit that like button, and I'll see y'all later. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Do y'all want to see Britt Baker in WWE, or where do y'all see her at? Or y'all just want to see her on AEW working things out? Because definitely, it's not the rumor running around here talking about she's not getting pushed because of Adam Cole. Adam Cole ain't got nothing to do with it. If anything, she was getting pushed because Kenny Omega got sick, and her push went by. Kenny Omega lost the women's division to Dustin Rhodes, and her went by. That's when her push went by. Once the women's division got shuffled up, and the leader of the women's division, the leader of creative for the women's division got changed. And that's when her push got slowed down. Simultaneously, Adam Cole came on over. And if you look at the way their relationship fizzled out, which was a good breakup. You ain't no mud slinging or nothing. But if you could see the way that went down, obviously a conversation was had saying, don't come. Now it'll be very interesting if she do get picked up by WWE and she go down to the NXT and win the NXT title. The NXT women's title. That'll be a crazy scenario, right? But all right, guys, I'll see y'all later. Thank you.
This is a wreck. He's moving like an uncaged animal.
No lie, he's wild in there.